Welcome to the first event here of the 2014 PSP season. It's the Dallas Open, coming at you from Cousins Paintball Park. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Tom Martinez and Chris Lasoya. So boys, start of the new year. Man, craziness has happened in the offseason. Tons of changes for all the big teams. We have the Champions Division and the Challengers Division here in the professional leagues of the PSP. We're going to watch two Challengers Division teams throw down first before we get to the second Challengers game for the day before we head into the Champions Division. First up, it's upTon 187 Crew taking on Sacramento XSV. Chris, what do you think about this matchup?
You know, they're two evenly matched teams. You know, you got 187 Crew that pretty much stayed on top of their game last year. They're in the pro division. They dropped down the Challengers Division. They had a couple key losses over the offseason. XSV had a couple key pickups over the offseason.
And some losses, too.
So I think, you know, anything's up in the air right now. I really can't call this game. I think 187 is going to edge out XSV, but if XSV comes off the break pretty hardcore, I think they can pull it out.
Now, Todd, we've all been familiar with XSV over the years. It's a legendary team formed to win championships about 10 years ago. They achieved that goal, but then lost pretty much all of the team. They still have the core, Rich Telford, but he did lose, you know, his right-hand man, Thomas Taylor, who took a big offer from Houston Heat and has been playing well for Heat so far in the practices leading up to this event. We will see Thomas Taylor and the rest of Houston Heat throw down a little bit later today, but that's a huge loss for XSV, Todd.
Yeah, it is, but, you know, just like for Thomas Taylor going to Houston Heat and having a new start, it's a new start for XSV, too, because they have a new identity, because XSV was always Thomas Taylor's team, Rich Telford's team, you know, those two guys together. Now Rich Telford can take the reins over again by himself, you know, and reshape this team the way that you guys did from the beginning. And, you know, he's got a bunch of new pickups, guys that are hungry, that want to get out there and grind. They say practice is going well. Talk about 187. They were pretty consistent, you know, in their play last year, able to slightly come into the Champions Division, go back down, but still stay on top of the Champions Division. So, I mean, this should be a pretty good game down here.
Yeah, and the thing with XSV is that it's about the younger guys. Like, okay, yeah, you're always going to hear us talk about Rich Telford and XSV because that's his team. That's his baby. He's been guiding that ship for a long time now. But he's surrounded himself with a bunch of young, up-and-coming guys, and it's going to be up to those guys to take ownership of the team's narrative. This is now their team, and they have the opportunity to prove themselves here against a pretty strong upTon 187 Crew. Now, yes, upTon did lose their marquee guy in Nick Laval. Nick Laval taking an offer to go and play for Edmonton Impact. And that's, you know, everybody understands that move. He did it the right way. He called all the guys on the team and explained the situation and asked them what he thought, you know, they thought he should do. And but still, that being said, there's going to be a lot of upTon fans out there because Nick was definitely the, you know, bleed 187 guy. But, you know, that's an impossible offer to turn down. It's a big move for his paintball career, and he really could help Impact. It does hurt 187, but they still have those studs that they were riding last year too, Zaleski, Trailer. I mean, there's some good players in upTon 187 Crew, and now upTon 187 Crew again. You know, paintball is just about that test. It's about looking inside and saying, okay, how good I've been practiced, I've been, you know, training all these years to get to this exact moment right now, and it's about performance. So, you know, is it going to be upTon 187 Crew? Is it going to be XSV? I don't know. We'll see. And then after that matchup, we're going to have Chattanooga CEP taking on Red Storm, which I think is going to be an interesting game to watch as we're looking into the pits. There's Junior Brown, another core member of Sacramento XSV, and then Heath Hoper. Yeah, Heath could be a huge, you see there to the right-hand part of your screen, there's Heath. You know, Heath, Southern California baller, and came up in the Aftermath camp. You want to talk about, you know, a Bloody Knuckles camp. That's the old school Aftermath camp and now defunct team. But Heath came up the hard way, and so he'll fit right in with Rich Telford then.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he could be a big guy for that squad. And they again, it's about those younger guys, you know, taking ownership of the story, man, and saying, hey, look, okay, I understand this team's been around for a long time now, but this is our team. It's our time to shine.
Right. Well, with that said, also, you know, with the loss of Nick Laval, you know, who's going to be that person to step up to the plate? Yes, he is one of the standout players. He is one of those pinnacle players for that team. But which person is going to take that place of him? Well, somebody's got to take the place. You know, you see a lot of these kids that have been hungry for it. You know, who's been on the bench because he's been on the field. Now this person's going to come off the bench now. All of a sudden, bam, here I am. You know, I got something to prove.
And we'll see. You know, that remains to be seen. That's why we play the games. You got 4 prelim games to prove yourself, to earn the chance to play on Sunday. And, yeah, we don't know, you know, and that's the thing with Nick Laval. Nick Laval for upTon 187 Crew who we're about to see play excessive here, he played pretty much every single point for that team. So that does have a big opening now for other guys to get their chance to shine.
Yeah, and one of the guys that I liked that I thought had a really good World Cup was Derula.
Derula's coming up for sure. Matthew Derula from upTon 187 crew. I really want to see what, and then also, who I thought was really kind of coming into his own. I mean, Max Trailer, we talked a lot about Max Trailer. He's a high talent level for him, but I really thought Zaleski was starting to step up too.
Yeah.
But versatility, both those guys very versatile. They can play on the D side, they can play on the snake side, and on this layout, things could get crazy. We could see some brutal matches out there, and the PSP has been edging more towards these aggressive layouts. But when you get guys that can use their timing to push forward when all the craziness is happening, bodies start dropping, and on this field could see a lot of bodies drop off the break. And so those teams and then those players that have the ability to see the field well and utilize that timing, those are going to be the teams, and then be aggressive, obviously, and take those spots. I mean, Todd, as the coach of Vicious, you guys have been playing this layout for, past couple weeks. How do you think things are going to play out?
Yeah, I'm telling you, we talked about this a little bit yesterday in the breakdown. The field is really wide open on the snake side, and on this Dorito side too. There's a lot of tall bunkers, but there's a lot of really good lanes to shoot. So a lot of people are going to die off the break. We got good tournament paint out here. It's a little chilly, a little brisk this morning.
Yeah.
So the weather's not going to play a factor in making the paint bouncier. So people are going to start dying on the break.
If anything, it's going to go the other way.
Yeah, it's going to be up to the players that make it out to their spots alive to recognize the calls, make sure everybody on their team knows how many bodies they lost, how many kills they got, and communicate that across the field so that smart players can make smart adjustments right away on the fly. But, I mean, people are going to die all over the place. Don't be surprised if you're seeing 1 or 2 bodies fall from each side. I've seen 3 bodies die on each side. This is going to be we might set a record for fastest game out here on some of these breakouts, depending on how people are shooting. But this is going to be a really, really fast field. And the players that are able to read the field really quickly and get up the field and attack it, it's going to pay dividends for those guys quickly.
Well, yeah, that's totally right, Todd. That's the same thing I saw watching practices. Well, let's check in with the 4th member of our broadcast team down in the pits, Lauren Kelly. How you doing down there?
Hey, guys. I'm down here with Rich Telford of Excessive for the first match of the day here in Dallas. Now, this is a really aggressive field. What have you guys been practicing, and how are you feeling going into the weekend?
Obviously, we've been practicing being really aggressive. It's a really aggressive field. We feel really good. We've got some new guys, and we're really looking forward to letting them get out there and kind of do their thing.
Obviously, everyone knows that Thomas Taylor left and went to Heat. How was that change for you guys? Were you pretty surprised, or how'd you deal with it?
I mean, we talked about it the whole time. He's always going to be a part of the team. He's doing what he's got to do, and luckily we picked up some new guys that hopefully he'll be able to eventually fill that role.
Awesome. Well, 187 is going to come out hot. They run down the field pretty fast. What are you anticipating from them?
Shooting them a lot, them walking off the field, us winning.
All right, and what's one thing you think is crucial to get off the break to make sure you get the advantage early on?
I don't think it's as much about taking spots as it is just taking spots away from them. So we're looking to G up as many guys on the break as we can, like 7, 8 at least.
All right, we'll see if they can get 7 or 8 off the break. Back to you guys.
Rich is a known exaggerator.
Yeah. Well, have you seen that show Vikings?
Yes.
I want him just to kind of braid that goat he's got going on down there.
Well, Rich was definitely born in the wrong time period. He should have been carrying a warhammer and pillaging villages, $1,000,000% back in the day. That was definitely the Rich Telford blood, coming up in Modesto, California. And, Rich is just one of those paintball legends, honestly. Been playing the game at its highest level for, 15 years now, I think.
I think closer to like 18.
Yeah, a long time.
19 years.
Long time. But he's good for those young guys. He's a brutal coach. I mean, he's definitely no BS. He's going to let you know when you mess up. And but it's great to have a guy like that in your corner helping you progress forward. And he's built a lot of good paintball players over the years.
Still one of the fastest guys in the league, too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Blazing speed.
Blazing speed.
He'd agree, too. He always tells us how fast he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
His brakes wore out, but but no, he is one of those players that has brought up so many players and farmed so many players up from the beginning of paintball. Just to see them flourish and come out of their own and go to other teams. Thomas Taylor, I'm sure, and him are really good, close friends. And he's an understanding person as far as that goes as well.
Well, it's like he said, you know, Thomas Taylor's always going to be a part of Excessive, but he got kind of an offer he couldn't refuse. Thomas Taylor's got 2 kids, and when he got an opportunity like he got to play for Houston Heat and help his family out, it's something he really couldn't turn down. So, you know, no one hates him for that. Everybody totally understands. It's just one of those situations that it happens when you spend enough time in the game and you have, you know, the success and the name that Thomas Taylor has. And he's played great for Heat. It's going to be I'm really interested to see how he's going to do with Heat, not having to worry about work. You know, he just can play the game now. He can just focus on playing the game, because before he was, you know, helping Rich, game plans and all those different intricate things. Todd, you know, you run teams. Chris, you've been a big leader on teams over the years. We've all been there before, and having all those other variables spinning around in your head sometimes affects your on-the-field performance. So having Thomas not have to worry about any of that and going to a team like Heat where they, you know, very regimented. It's one of the top teams for a reason. So we're looking at Excessive getting ready to roll here. And just about 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go before the start of the first point of the 2014 PSP Dallas Open. First event of the year. Lots of questions going to be answered this weekend. Pretty much every top team did not emerge unscathed in the offseason. Losing guys, picking guys up, coaches have changed. It's gonna be a crazy year, man. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm kind of chomping at the bit here to get rolling.
And I see, you know, as we're starting, we're coming into 1 minute to come to this game right now, and the sun comes out. It's going to start to warm up, because I don't think you guys can see underneath here, but we're all wearing like little mini skirts because our feet like are freezing right now.
Yeah. Well,
so I can only imagine how they're doing down the field.
Yeah. Well, also I think that some guys are affected by things more than others, and it is a little chilly out here, but man, you can't let anything affect you.
I don't think they're feeling anything but pure adrenaline right now.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be
because you don't want to get a slow start. You
No.
do not want to get a slow start.
No, not at all. We actually practiced down in Oklahoma City last weekend with Vicious. We played against Texas Storm, and it was like 30 degrees. One day it was so cold. We were running around out there, so I think it was good preparation for this morning. But just like yesterday, you know, it was a little chilly in the morning, but, you know, by 9, 10 o'clock, you know, it was back up to 60, 70 degrees, and it was really nice. We were blessed all last year to have beautiful weather every PSP event, so hopefully we'll get another one of those this year, you know, have a nice string of good weather tournaments that we can all come out here and enjoy in our shorts and T-shirts.
With our flip-flop tans.
Yeah, so make sure you get on your social networks and let everybody know that the PSP first event of the season, the Dallas Open, is going down this weekend. And after these first 2 Challengers games, again, CEP going to be taking on Red Storm next. And I'm interested to see what Red Storm's going to do. Now, Red Storm used to be Grad Moscow. They picked up some American players, pretty much the Russian core of the team. We actually have 3 teams from Russia now here in the pro leagues of the PSP. With the addition of Art Chaos, who comes in highly touted. They've been dominating teams in Europe. Some of the best players on the world on their squad and they are in the Challengers Division, because you can't just come right into the Champions Division. You have to earn your right to play there. So just a few seconds to go here before the start of this first point. Excessive on your left, 187 Crew on your right. So here we go on the breakout. Looks like Excessive sending 3 bodies towards the Snake side, and both teams emerge unscathed here off the break, but 187 Crew getting all the way. Max Trailer to the 50-yard line, Snake right off the break.
You know, look at the move right there. Max Trailer getting up in there. But look at the inside move now, coming up, mirroring him on the other side.
Looks like Eddie Painter getting shot off the break for Upton 187 Crew, so advantage goes to Excessive, and it looks like a penalty, the first penalty of the year here on the first point on Upton 187 Crew. You see there the Snake layout, and Excessive stacking up that Snake. They have the body advantage, just 2 players left alive for Upton 187 Crew. 2 of their best, though, Max Trailer and Matthew Jarula, left alive. But they are both on the Snake side, so it's going to be up to them to try to start chopping bodies up and even it up here. Max Trailer in the Snake, rolling his gun, going gun up heavy right now. He's got to get a kill out of that. He gets taken out himself. He gets 1, though, but that's probably not going to be enough, Todd.
No, not at all, but he was able to burn some of that time off that major. Looks like Carlos Torres down here for Excessive. He's finally going to come around and slide in to the mini race on 187 side of the field. Another rookie in the Challengers Division, Torres, as Riley Sullivan runs and grabs the flags, calling for a check. There's a penalty.
Yeah, he wants to
hang it right away.
Yeah, when you have that major penalty be thrown, see, a major penalty is, in case you're unaware, major penalty is signified by a red flag being thrown in the air by the referee, and it's a 2-minute major penalty. So, and that penalty stays on the clock regardless of whether or not you win or lose the point. So if that had been a minor penalty, and it was Greg Lazat that got that penalty, if it had been a minor penalty, it would have come off the board, and 187 would be able to start with 5 bodies, but it looks like, nope, they're going to be starting down, so excessive on the power play, score 1-0. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back here, looking at the layout of the field. There's that snake, man. Quite the chaotic snake layout here for the first event. And but people have been liking it. Things get a little crazy in there, and it's going to be entertaining, to say the least. We already saw it there. That was pretty. Max Trailer knew he had to do something. You saw Max Trailer was poised up, gunned up hard, and trying to get somebody to play with him there. But Excessive, I think, smartly, either from the pressure from Max, they didn't want to mess with them, or understanding, hey, okay, we got the body advantage. Let's not throw one away here, stupid, and let Max pull off something crazy, because they only, 187 only had those 2 players left alive on the snake side, and it's kind of tough to fight back that way when the whole D side of the field is completely blown open.
Yeah, with that major penalty, I mean, when that clears out one whole side of the field, you're pretty much in trouble right away, especially when you lose one. We're really quick off the break, So let's go on the field right now. I got about 3 seconds.
Here we go.
Excessive up, 1 point.
Yeah, split screen breakout here. Excessive on your right, 187 Crew on your left now as the teams have switched sides. Excessive in those green JT jerseys, but Excessive losing a body off the break, pushing hard in the center. They got Jesse Lapid here into Snake 2, but the referee's going to pull a minor penalty on Jesse Lapid, who took one as he tried to get in there. So the Snake side is completely blown open here for upTon 187 Crew. Let's see if they can get this point and tie the game up as Matthew Derula makes his way into the snake, starts communicating cross field. There's Matthew Derula on your screen right now. Wow. 18 minutes to go here.
Jesse Lapid doing 187 a big favor right there by getting that minor penalty. Didn't know he got shot in the pack. Excessive shot one on the break for 187 and put the 3 bodies right away, but then lost a couple bodies. And now, looks like Trailer takes one in the face. I think it is a one-on-one right now.
And Todd, I saw Derula just looking at Trailer going, slow down, let's line this penalty off. He said, relax a little bit, and he just didn't do it. He's trying to get a little cross-field, penetration.
Well, it might be one of those things, Chris, where, look, hey, first game, you're trying to play hype, trying to come with some fire here, and now Derula closing the gap here in this one-on-one situation, and it looks like Derula is going to win. No, actually, it was a 2-on-1 situation as Dan Zaleski was left alive there in the back corner, Todd. Yeah,
Dan Zaleski came out, put a ball on him, and going to win that point, making this back even, 1-1. And I think Zaleski came out of the box.
Yeah, so. I think they did grind that. No, it looks Excessive has 4 seconds left on that. It was a minor penalty, but they lost the point. When you get a minor penalty and you lose the point, your player will come out of the box. So they will start off 5 strong this next game up against 187.
Yeah, so penalty flags already starting to fly. Refs setting the tempo here, and I think we're probably going to continue to see that throughout the first part of today. It's the first tournament of the year. Everyone has it. You know how it is in practice. You're reffing yourselves. Might have some guys helping you ref. It's just not the same when you get the pro ref crew out here, laying down the law. So they don't want to set that tempo early and let the guys know, hey, you're not going to be able to get away with anything out here. There's in the pits right now for Sacramento XSV as they are getting ready to roll for this next point. It is all tied up here at 1-1. With about 17 minutes and 15 seconds to go here. So let's look at the game matchup here. 187 Crew better at attacking. In fact, that is their forte. upTon 187 Crew proved the past 2 seasons they're very good at attacking. And Sacramento XSV, they have some of these younger guys. I think picking up Heath Hooper was pretty good. And then, Jesse Lapid really started to come into his own at World Cup as well, defending pretty solid for excessive finishing. They have that experience. They're able to do that too with those backfield Junior Brown and Rich Telford, and a little bit more clutch. Upton 187 crew still not able to take advantage sometimes of the opportunities that they present, or that are presented by that aggression that they have. But still, these two teams real evenly matched. As we're seeing here, as it's tied up 1 apiece. Now we're getting a look at Upton 187 crew as they're about ready to roll here. And they've also picked up Thomas Mantoni, Todd, who used to play for
Hurricanes.
The Hurricanes, yeah. New England Hurricanes.
I like Thomas
And he could be a
Mantoni.
really big pickup for them.
Yeah, no, he was a pretty good player back in the day when he played. He brought up under the camp with
Billy
Bernaccia,
Bernaccia, who plays for World Champs San Antonio X Factor. We'll see later on this afternoon. Actually, last game of the day is going to be a rematch from the World Cup final as Impact and X Factor play last game of the day here, 5:15 Central Time. Coming at you from Cousins Paintball Park in Texas. So here we go in the snake right now. Excessive, 2 players alive on this snake side. 2 players alive for Upton 187 crew as well, but a little bit better field position for Upton 187 crew. And then there you look in the back corner bunker on the D side of the field, and that is a gunfighter's spot back there because that snake is going to be hot.
Oh, it looks like Excessive gets a kill out of the snake. That's going to free the snake up for Jaime Lopez to come into the 50 and start working across the field. He's got Jesse Lapid over in the 50 Dorito. Excessive now owning this field as Upton 187 in the mini race behind the snake and the Dorito side corner. Oh, as the Dorito side corner takes one in the chest, he goes walking off. We got
That's just leave, I think,
Tainer.
2 players left for 187.
Yeah, Dan Zaleski and Eddie Painter left alive for Upton 187 crew. And better field position, though, is Jaime Lopez in the snake. 50-yard line snake for Excessive, getting a shot right now on that D side. And look how much pressure the snake side for Excessive is able to put. As you can just see, the D side really taking a lot of pain here. Jaime making his way down, smart, controlled bumps, and now comes to drop the hammer. I think he got picked up by Mantoni.
Nice shot.
Wow, that was a great shot by Thomas Mantoni.
But Dan Zaleski taking the walk in the process. Here comes Torres. Now it's a 2-on-1 with Thomas Mantoni. Thomas Mantoni also shoots Rich Telford.
Oh, and the bodies are starting to drop now. Jesse Lapid, who flips sides over onto the D side.
Now
he gets eaten up with like 2.
It's a 1-on-1 now. Right there. Thomas Mantoni shooting 3 right there. No?
Eddie Painter.
Oh, Eddie Painter. I apologize.
Oh, and Eddie Painter comes around and shoots. Looks like he shot Torres in the pack.
Is that Eddie Painter? Yeah, Eddie Painter getting it done right now. Oh, and I think he might have just traded out with Torres. I think, no, I don't know. Ref's in there trying to figure it out.
Wow. Look at that. What a game, though, by Eddie Painter.
Yeah, Eddie Painter just saved that point right now for Upton 187 crew. You know, that doesn't surprise me. Thought that was Thomas Mantoni for a second, but no, Eddie Painter. And that's why Eddie Painter is such an asset to Upton 187 crew, because of his ability to really see the field. That's what he's getting really, really good at.
Yeah.
You know, plays that 3 position, that 2-3, plays that mid or that back guy. And his ability, his timing has gotten really good, and his ability to see the field has just gotten amazing. And he was able to start chewing up those bodies, Excessive, going sloppy. So no point is scored, still 1-1. We'll be right back after this. We're back here looking in the pits for Sacramento Excessive. Tied up score here.
That's Carlos Torres right there, number 1 on your screen. The last player alive in the snake. You know, Excessive just came a little sloppy, it seemed like, when Dan Zaleski was in that mini Dorito. I think he traded out with Rich Telford right before he got shot. And then Eddie Painter just diced up Jesse Lapid and then came around, made that move. Shot Jaime coming to bunker him.
That was a great shot, too.
Yeah, looked like he snuck one in.
You know, one thing that we took away this year that we don't have from last year was the sideline coaching.
Yeah, that was a big change, and honestly, I'm a huge fan of that. I never liked sideline coaching. The game is not designed for that. The game's not paintball is not designed to keep you hidden from guys standing on the sidelines screaming where your position is. So I think that the smarter players, it really helps the smarter players out. It's going to help those really veteran seasoned teams. So you can't just joystick your players down the sidelines. Always hated that. And another change another change this year too as well is that when a penalty is called, instead of the person who got the penalty, it's going to be the person who's being pulled that gets put into the box.
On the split screen breakout, XSV on your right, 187 crew on your left. It's a 1-1 game right now, Todd. Oh, a minor penalty on XSV. You saw on the right-hand side of your screen. Here comes 187 crew going to work, taking full advantage of that, Matty.
Yeah, 187 crew, Nick Roberts just running down the snake side, backed up by Thomas Mantoni. And XSV doing all they can to stop Roberts, not able to do it. That penalty, though, definitely the coffin nail for him over on the D side of the field. And here comes Upton 187 crew. Looks like they are going to put a second point on the board to go up 1 here against Sacramento XSV. And penalties playing a big factor thus far in this game.
I think that might be a 3-pack right there for Nick Roberts. Coming up, bunkers the snake, shoots the back right corner, and then comes down and shoots the snake 1 on XSV. That's what I saw. But, you know, check out this replay, Matty. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, so, you know, you seeing these bodies drop quick, and I don't think the players are necessarily reacting to, you know, getting off the field when they're getting hit because it's so chaotic, man. It looks like we'll try to get that replay to you here in a little bit. But the thing is that in that center of the field, it's pretty open. You got to run out to your spots, but you also have to have that body knowledge. You have to really be sensitive as you're running out to your spot. So if you catch some, this isn't practice. You can't just casually get to your bunker, check it. If you take paint, you have to acknowledge that and get a referee in there. At least you have to, you know, realize that, okay, I took some paint. I can't just keep playing and hope that it bounced, because you're going to get that penalty. I think that's what we're seeing right now.
And in this kind of weather, you don't get a lot of bounces. I mean, the
no,
paint,
that's a good
really,
point. Yeah.
I mean, it's perfect weather. They're probably nice and warm. I mean, but it's perfect weather of paintballs. That's why you see a lot of shots in the break. A lot of people getting hit. They don't realize they're hit because it breaks so brittle.
Hey, if
you don't feel it.
That's a good point. And if I'm a 3 or a 2, guys that have to do a lot of shooting off the break, those are the guys that are gunning up, not necessarily just, you know, running to their spot. I'd be happy right now that it's a little chilly, because that means I know that, yeah, I may break a few in my gun, but I'm never going to bounce one on you.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of just grazing shots break on these guys. They're not even flinching. They're not really even checking it when as they usually would. I mean, I never would, but.
Well, I think that really does come down to the fact that they haven't. All these guys have just been at practice.
Yep.
They've been grinding in practice, and you know how it is in practice. Sometimes you're a little bit more lenient on yourself as far as when or when you do not check yourself if you took what you may or may not think is a hit. So these guys need to be a little bit more diligent out there about checking themselves here off the break, because, like we said, that it's a wide open game off the break here. So here we go, split screen breakout. Sacramento XSV, Upton 187 crew, Sac XSV losing a body over here on the snake side, but able to get one in all the way to the 50 here off the break. 187 also loses a body, so Max Trailer coming off for 187. Oh, it looks like Heath and Jaime are coming off for Sac XSV.
You know, and there goes another one for 187 crew on the far side of the Dorito flag, leaving that side all the way open, I believe, Matty.
Look at this, though. Big move by Eddie Painter.
God, look at Eddie Painter having a game.
Eddie Painter making it look so pretty over here on that snake side. Running down Torres. Torres had no idea he was coming, but that's the coach. That's what happens when you have no coaching over here on the snake side. I love it.
Finally.
So, you know, exactly. I love that. It looks like Eddie Painter's a little better shape. I mean, he was he's got a lot more athletic over the past couple years. He's always had that quick.
athletic. He's always been quick, but he has been a little bit of a thicker dude.
Yep.
Looking real sharp
He
right
is,
now.
actually.
Maybe he put in some work in that off season. Because Eddie Painter looking real crisp over here, and I'm telling you, those heads-up players like Painter, those are the guys that are going to start shining right now in the PSP because of the lack of the coaching. And I think over here, when we say there's still coaches for these teams, but you can't scream from the sidelines and give away moves. Let's check out this replay. Look at this. Eddie Painter coming out wide, perfectly executed. And do you see that grouping?
Yeah.
Perfect grouping, too, on the run.
Got a right in the barrel condom. In the eye.
Yeah, making it look real nice there. Eddie Painter, Upton 187 crew now up by 2 against XSV with just about 13 minutes to play, 13-13 on the clock. And you can see Upton 187 crew.
You know, and you
brought
brought
some
up
high fives in there.
You brought up earlier, Matty, when in the you know, team profiles against each other. Clutch teams. is excessive. Anybody can come back. It's excessive.
Well, if you want, if I could take my pick of guys that I want to give you a speech when you're down points and you're in the pits, Rich Telford would be one of those guys.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, he used to slap us back in the day.
That's true. Actually, I've seen it.
Yeah, I'm just not making it up. I'm not making it up.
I was gonna try and candy coat it, but there's really no. It's only hard candy at the end of the day.
He's getting a little soft in his old age.
Yeah. No, now that he punches you. No, but I look for excessive to come out swinging. I think that they have the talent, to come back from a deficit. If anybody does, for sure.
Well, here we go. 5 seconds to go. On the breakout, let's see. Snake for both teams. Upton 187 crew beats excessive into the snake. And immediately you notice this trailer crawls all the way to the 50, and you're going to see that all tournament long.
187 losing one player on the break on the far side, Dorito side of the field, and taking the snake, mirroring a hope. Well, trying to anyway, Todd, and just getting blown to pieces.
And Max Trailer in that 50 snake, looking across the field, excessive, gets one kill on the break, and then chops Pike up, trying to come up into that front Dorito. So a couple bodies down off the Dorito side, and that opens the door for excessive to start attacking. And another body comes walking off. Mantoni, last body in the Dorito side, just 2 bodies left alive now for 187, both over here on the snake side of the field. But I don't think excessive knows where Trailer is.
Yeah, that's going to be an issue.
So
Trailer now. Oh, but no, Trailer gets taken out. So Trailer getting taken out. You can see there, back corner bunker on the snake side. Last player left alive for Upton 187 crew. It's Eddie Painter fighting for his life back there, and he ends up getting taken out by Riley Sullivan.
And I was looking. I went down and walked the field earlier before we started the broadcast, and excessive is going to take this point, bring it within a 1-point game if the flag hang is clean. Now, in that snake, there's a lot of shots across the field, down the field, but at the same time, there's a lot of holes here and there, too, that he can slip a ball in on you, just like the back corner did with excessive shooting Max Trailer.
Yeah, lots of angles. That's what paintball is about, man. Paintball is about walking those fields, finding the angles. We'll be right back after this. 3-2 is the score.
They say don't be perfect, be clutch. Being clutch is one of my biggest assets. You can rely on me to be clutch, and I rely on the Vanquish. My name is Damian Ryan. I play for Team Infamous, and the Vanquish takes my game to another level.
And we are back here. 2014 Dallas Open PSP season has begun. We got ourselves a close match. Sac Excessive playing Upton 187 crew. And the crew is up by 1 right now, 3-2. Checking out Upton 187 crew getting ready to roll, getting chronoed for the start of this next point. About under a minute to go before these guys get it going.
187 started shooting bodies on the break, the second, third, fourth points. And then finally that last game, excessive, come out, takes a body on the break, able to take advantage of it. Those first couple points, not a whole lot of bodies died on the break, plus we saw those penalties, but I imagine now that everybody's got a couple points on the field, we're still really going to start seeing bodies drop off. So, that's the way that this field's going to play. People, you see the bodies die, you got to attack right away. And, as soon as these icicles chip off a little bit over here.
There's still plenty of time left in this game. 11 minutes and 48 seconds.
I got a couple icicles on my beard right now.
I'm telling you.
So here we go. 187 crew in the driver's seat, but just barely. Sac Excessive trying to keep this game close. Can they tie it up? We're about to find out. Excessive on your right, 187 crew on your left, and it looks like all the way to the snake. Nope, both teams pull up short this time. And Greg Lazat dying on the D side for Upton 187 crew. And then here comes the crew getting into the snake 50. Immediately, it's going to be brutal in there, man. Lots of guys. Oh, and another penalty. This time, looks like that's number 19, Riley Sullivan. But I don't think Sullivan got the penalty.
No, Riley did not get that penalty.
It was Jerry D'Amato.
Yeah, he
that's
got it
Jerry D'Amato's second minor this game so far.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Those younger guys, man, they got to step up. If Sacramento Excessive wants to prevail here at this event and win the Challengers division, they need these younger players like Jerry D'Amato, Ryan Pruitt, Carlos Torres, and Jaime Lopez to step up. Pruitt, Torres, and Lopez still alive out there now, pushing up Torres in the 50-yard line snake. Only one player left alive for upTon 187 crew. It's Thomas Mantoni, number 22. Here comes Excessive trying to tie it up, Chris.
Yeah, no, at this point, I mean, they're up by 1 point. Excessive coming down this field, a little scary again. Now they're switched side of the field. Is it 2-on-2, I believe? Or 2-on-1. Thomas Mantoni across side of the field, getting shot. Now I'd blow the horn, save that penalty, just like they did.
There it is. Good call, Chris.
Yeah, you know, because you want to save, when you save that penalty, because Excessive had a minor penalty and they won the point, their player will now stay in the box and they will continue to play with 4 players on the break for at least 9 seconds.
Yeah, again, those minor penalties only come off if you lose the point. They will stay on if you win it, which Sac just did, Sacramento Excessive. But tie game now, 3-3. 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go. We'll be right back after this.
This is the Earth. The Earth is beautiful. Earth is where we play paintball. It is important to recycle in order to save the Earth. Do not recycle custom paintball jersey designs. Get what you pay for. Get a fresh original design at rosalife.com.
Here we go. Back on the field. I always like watching your commercials, Todd. It's always good for a chuckle.
Glorious. Glorious. That brought a tear to my eye.
So here we go. 10 minutes, 30 seconds to go. 3-3 is that score. All tied up. And that's what we, hey, man, before this game, what do we say? It's exactly what we said. We're like, these are 2 evenly matched teams who are hungry to prove themselves in the pro paintball world. upTon 187 crew had a pretty miraculous run through the divisional ranks, and then they got pretty glaring awakening once they got to the pro ranks and realized just how hard it is to prevail at this level. But they earned a lot of respect along the way, and they bounced back and forth between the champs and the challengers divisions. Last year, proving too good to be held down, not good enough to stay up with the 10 best teams in the world. And Excessive really struggled last season and not performing up to their own expectations of that squad. But that being said, you know, rebooted, revamped, got some new players. Really like the young talent on that team. And, of course, they couldn't ask for a better leader in Rich Telford.
Yeah, before there was a champs and challengers division. You know, upTon 187 was that new team, you know, that every event that you guys played them, they were just, you know, they were really tough. You never knew what to expect, except they were going to come hard. You know, their game plans were, you know, kind of all over the place, but they were always very aggressive. And, you know, that's why we like 187. That's why, you know, that's why we cheer for them now and the way that they, you know, where they came from and that they fight, you know, every time they step on the field.
They got a great mentality, a great story. There's no reason not to cheer for upTon 187 crew. I mean, if you're a fan of grabbing your buddies all from the same area and trying to see how far you can take your paintball adventure, you gotta love the upTon 187 crew, boys. So here we go. Sacramento Excessive on your screen on the right-hand side. They got Junior Brown up in the center, number 9. Now we're looking at upTon 187 crew on the center and on that D side. 2 players have dropped as Riley Sullivan's been pulled all 3 times from all penalties.
You know, and
which is not good for Excessive because he's arguably their best player.
Yeah, he plays very well. He's very versatile. One of those players we talked about being versatile on the D side, and on the snake side, and at the middle. Now, you know, Excessive losing another player. They lost one in the break. Riley comes out of the box. They are continuing to be 4. Here goes another one on Excessive.
Uh-oh, this might be another penalty.
It's looking like it'll be a major.
Oh, my God. The disaster striking for Excessive.
And Riley Sullivan getting pulled again on the penalty. Oh, Lord.
And here comes Eddie Painter dropping the hammer on the last player left alive. So Riley Sullivan has been pulled for all 4 excessive penalties. And Excessive, they really need to kill that penalty bug, man. They had problems with that, remember, Todd, in World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, Junior Brown made that bump right out. You know, 187 was in the 50 snake over here. Junior Brown makes the bump into the Dorito from the tall tower in the middle, and he gets eaten apart by the snake. And then snake just leans back just a little bit farther, shoots the player in the can in the leg, and Jerry D'Amato with his 3rd penalty this match.
Oh my God.
2 minors and a major for Jerry D'Amato.
Rich Telford is going to have a heart attack.
Well, here's the problem. Jerry D'Amato, I really believe in that kid's talent, and maybe he's just trying too hard out there. You know, I don't know what the issue is exactly, but you got a problem. If you're getting 3 penalties in 1 match, then you've got some issues that need to be addressed, because you're just making it really tough on the rest of the guys on your team. I mean, look at poor Riley Sullivan. Riley Sullivan has been pulled on 4 penalties, and he's their best player. Like, man, you got to let your best guy play. Yeah. So that's what happens when you get those flags. So score now 4-3. We'll be right back after this. So Sacramento XSV.
Down here with Josh Pike in 187's pit. Now, you guys had a 2-point lead there, 3-1. You let XSV come back and tie it up. You've taken the lead once again. What adjustments did you make to make sure you could keep the lead?
We didn't really make any adjustments. They're just kind of getting penalties left and right. So, I mean, we're just trying to stay alive off the break, shoot them, and see what happens.
When they have these penalties, what's the best strategy to make sure you can keep the momentum up and get those points while they're still in the box?
Push up the field really fast, and then shoot the box.
All right. What did you guys work on during the off season to make sure you could come out with a strong showing?
You know, we went and practiced Texas Storm a couple weeks ago, and we're down in New Jersey last weekend. But other than that, it's been a snowy winter up in New England, so, you know, we practice when we can at indoor, but indoors are a lot different than playing on a real field, so.
You guys have always been known for playing pretty fast and aggressive, so how does this layout play to your strength?
Quick. We like to get up the field and shoot a lot of people, so the faster the 50, the better.
All right. Right now it is 4-3. 187 is up on XSV. We'll see if they can keep the lead.
Well, he's got a good point in the sense that, yeah, absolutely, you need to get up this field. The best bunkers are at right around 50-yard line, especially on the snake side. And 187 crew's done a really good job of getting up there. We see they've definitely got, they've walked it, they strategize, they know exactly what they need to do, and as soon as they're diving in, they're making it up to that 50-yard line. You're looking at Rich Telford there talking to Riley Sullivan and Jaime Lopez, trying to pump his boys up here. They've been keeping this close, though, even though they got all those penalties. Score now 4-3. Let's check out this replay here. Look at it's Eddie Painter again. Eddie Painter, he's really starting the year off nice, man.
Yeah, he is.
His ability to close games. I mean, we might have to move up that clutch for upTon 187 crew because of how good Painter's looking coming out of that backfield.
Yeah, he's put some nice shots on the run too.
I like his lanes that he's taking.
Yeah, you can tell he's thought it out, man. He looks good. Eddie Painter is coming into the year looking really good already, so that's gonna bode well for upTon 187 crew, especially if they can get the rest of their pretty awesome lineup. I mean, look at Thomas Mantoni, Zaleski, Lazat played good last year. Todd,
yep.
Trailer, Derula. I mean, they got a solid lineup. Here we go on the breakout. XSV now on the left-hand side. 187 crew on the right. XSV losing a player over here on the snake side. It looks like a big move from Greg Lazat. Try to get the flag off the break as he's going to walk off early. But on that stunt, upTon 187 crew able to get to the snake 50. He chews up number, I think that was
number 12.
Number 12. Jaime Lopez out of that center.
That was, he just murdered him too. He didn't even know he was in the snake. Derula's working the snake back and forth, as you can see. Now, like I talked about, there's some dead zones in there, but there's a lot of lanes from that back corner to shoot him as well.
Pruitt shot a body coming up that Dorito side too. And then Pruitt gets shot. So here comes Mantoni and Derula. Trailer coming along down the middle. It's a 3-on-1. Last body alive over there. Riley Sullivan's still in the box, and I think that's Jerry D'Amato.
So XSV had the chance to try to get back here and tie this game up, but upTon 187 crew now 2 points away from this race to 7 victory here in this first matchup. Setting the tone, though.
Still 8 minutes and 24 seconds left in this game, though. And like I said, if XSV can stay out of the box, I think, you know, they will have a shot at it.
Well, with the way the layout is and how fast these points we're going to see this weekend are, teams are going to have a chance to come back. There's going to be enough time to mount a comeback because of those quick points. So, yeah, Chris, absolutely. With 8 minutes and 24 seconds to go, they absolutely could, we could see Excessive come back, but they got to stay out of that box. Let's check out this replay. Look at this point getting closed out by the young, hungry Wolves of upTon 187 crew.
Yeah, that was Jerry D'Amato getting worn out right there for all the penalties he's been getting.
Those bunkerings hurt a little bit more in the mornings, too. Chris is laughing because he knows.
Jeez, man. Hate that.
Yeah. But hopefully it'll warm up a little bit. It's not that bad, though. This is when you put your gear on, it's probably not that bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing some push-ups and okay, let's not get carried
Liar.
away. Let's not get carried away. I'm gonna do laps around this.
Around our desk.
Yeah.
I like it.
But that's not gonna happen.
I'll
either.
sit here and drink my coffee and watch you do laps.
That coffee actually we just got this morning was fantastic. So anyway, 5-3 game right now in favor of 187 crew. 8 minutes and 24 seconds left in the game, but 46 seconds left on that major penalty. Riley Sullivan sitting in the box watching the game.
Yeah, and poor Riley Sullivan. Riley Sullivan, he's been playing the game at a high level, and he actually, NorCal baller came up with Bob Long's team long ago, and kind of didn't earn the best reputation. Everyone respected his talent, but man, he really morphed into a super nice guy. He's a family man, hard-working guy. Like I can't say enough good things about Riley Sullivan now, and a very, very talented player, and a really big asset for Excessive if they can actually let him play.
Yeah, seriously.
And he's not getting the penalties either. He's playing clean. It's Jaime Lopez that keeps getting the penalties.
And he's still got
Jerry D'Amato.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, not Jaime Lopez, Jerry D'Amato.
But look at Excessive getting up the snake right now. Almost in the 50 snake.
Yeah, Excessive, good move here. And now another major penalty on Sacramento Excessive. This time it's Jesse Lapid who's going to have to take the walk.
And pulling out, that's going to be Ryan Pruitt.
Oh, look at this, though. He just got 2, but then finally gets taken out by Derula. So Pruitt. Torres almost pulled off a 3-on-1 over here on the snake side. He got the first 2, but not able to shoot Zaleski, who is alive to hang that flag and take upTon 187 crew to 6 points, 1 point away from victory in this first matchup here. Next up, we got Chattanooga CEP and Red Storm. We'll be right back after this.
Shooting on the brake is what I do. The Vanquish has a pressure-balanced spool valve firing engine. This makes the Vanquish smooth, accurate, and consistent. A recipe for domination on the brake. My name's Travis Lemansky. I play for Team Infamous, and the Vanquish takes my game to another level.
Going into these events, equipment's what matters. On our team, we're so talented. My job has fallen into like a role player's position. In order for Kyle or Brandon or Alex to make these moves, they need support so that we can win the tournament. And that's what I'm doing with this LV1. I'm able to go to a spot and get a lot of drop shots on people and really shoot just directly over a bunker where people think they're safe, and the next thing you know, I'm getting those kills. My name's Oliver Lang from San Diego Dynasty, and I shoot the LV1.
There's Big Rich Telford, Sacramento Excessive, His facial hair game is on point this year.
I know. Look at how well groomed that is.
I agree with the Viking reference, Chris. He definitely looks like a Viking.
He does right now. He just would just.
Or a biker.
Oh, boy, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so Rich Telford, long-time top-level player, the leader. Call him the coach, call him the captain, whatever. He's the leader of Sacramento XSV. And got a good group, man. I like his team this year. And though they've got a ton of penalties here in this first match, they're down by 3. I mean, with as many penalties, Todd, as they've got, I'm surprised the game is even this close.
Yeah, seriously. But, I mean, and Riley Sullivan, I'm surprised they keep putting Jerry D'Amato out there.
I'm surprised Riley Sullivan hasn't punched somebody yet.
Yeah.
It's because he's all
the
calm.
new Riley Sullivan.
He's all calm now.
Yeah, you're talking about Riley Sullivan before. Like, he was quick to blow you out your boots with an instant, you know. He'd have dumped half a loader into you if he saw you walking off the field, you know, come bunker your whole family, you know, in the middle of the night. But, you know, now he's still, you know, he's in great shape. He's a smarter player.
Yeah, he's
you
a
know,
specimen.
being you know, more calm, you know, allows him to be smarter on the field, and you know, not playing with just raw aggression anymore. You know,
that's
now
that's the higher level, Todd.
Yeah,
that's
you know, he's very technical, and he still knows how to use that aggression, but it's just more controlled.
Yeah, much more of a complete player now, Riley Sullivan, over the years, and again, amazing asset for the team if they could just keep him on the field. So now with just 3 bodies, excessive force to try to fight back here. And here they come up the center. Wow, so all 3 players left alive. I don't know, the ref's running in, looking at Torres in the snake. You're looking at upTon 187 crew. Torres makes it clean. 3 players alive. Oh, now major penalty on upTon 187 crew. Here's Excessive's chance now to try to get back in this match with that major penalty. And it looks like 187 crew just walking down at droves. And Max Trailer trying to make something happen over here on the snake side and gets Torres to spin on him. So Torres gets a major penalty, which is going to pull Junior Brown off, who spikes the flag into the ground. And 1 player left alive for Excessive. Thank God for them. As number 12, Jaime Lopez, swoops that flag up off the grass and runs it in for a point for Excessive. The score is going to be 6-4. But my God, the penalty flags. The Redbirds of Death have been flying this morning here in the crisp morning air here outside of Dallas at Cousins Paintball. Let's check out this replay.
He clearly didn't know where he was. He gets on the other side of him, lays down, and then he shoots him on the left side, and then he clearly shoots him back.
Ooh, yeah, so, that was like, you could see he took that hit in the side and then kept shooting. That was close. That was close.
It was close, but it was unnecessary because he was already getting shot in the back by Excessive getting behind them. They were already past him on the 50, and he was actually getting shot in the back in the process of that. So that was kind of a bad penalty to get.
It's one of those rookie mistakes. You know, it's, again, that's the thing. You know, Excessive, high level of talent, great leadership. They got great support from Key and JT, but they need to evolve their game. They really need to kind of mentally move to that next level, and that comes with time. It's tough, and most of that work, that mental work, is done here during the tournaments. It's very hard to do that work in practice. You can, it's just not quite the same, as we all well know. More of that, you know, time behind the gun in big game situations when the pressure's on, the cameras are rolling, and everybody's watching. That's when a lot of that mental work's done. So hopefully this will be a good learning experience for the younger guys out there on Excessive. With all these penalties that they've got. And so now Carlos Torres with his major penalty. And but Sacramento XSV, they were able to keep 1 body alive. So we got ourselves a 2-point match with 6 minutes and 49 seconds to go here. So this has been a pretty entertaining first match to start the tournament out.
I think that they're just trying to keep their joints, all the refs trying to keep their joints nice and warm.
Yeah,
keep the throwing arm warm.
Jeez.
But, you know, it's 6-4 right now. There's 6 minutes and 49 seconds left in this game. 55 seconds left on 1 major, 155 left on another major for Excessive. So they're going to get 1 guy out. It's going to be 4-on-4 if they can stay alive.
Looks like it's 3-on-4, Chris. 3-on-4, 3 players left alive, or 3 players alive starting this point for Excessive, and they immediately go to the snake chop. A 187 player up off the break, and another one too. So now the advantage goes to Excessive, but no, they lose Riley Sullivan up the gut in the center, so it's 2-on-2. But here comes Jarula,
big move.
So wow, that was a very quick point, and hats off to Matthew Jarula, getting it done over here on the Snake side. And what did we say? And we said it in the breakdown, Todd. We said it earlier on today. The players, we saw it in Eddie Painter earlier, the players that are able to keep their head on a swivel and be calm in those chaotic moments, take advantage of the situations that present themselves, those are going to be the teams and the players that progress through this tournament. And Matthew Jarula sealing the deal right there for upTon 187 crew. Beautiful work. Let's check it out here on the replay. Look at Matthew Jarula. Head up. See his head's up the whole time. Finds the body. Bam. Takes him out. Beautiful slide in. Guns up cross field and gets that next kill to finish off that point. So amazing work by the young up-and-coming Matthew Jarula. And, you know, Todd, you had said that earlier that you felt that was going to be a potentially really big player for upTon 187 crew this season.
Yeah, I like him. You know, the way he came out, you know, last season, played big World Cup. And, you know, like you said, there's going to be that one spot, you know, that Laval played every single point last year for 187. Who's going to step up? I think Jarula's going to be one of those guys. Painter had a big game today. You know, and then good job getting the first win out here. You know, first thing in the morning, going up, one win in the Challengers Division.
Yeah, nice work. So let's check in with Lauren Kelly on the sidelines.
I am down here with Dan Zaleski of 187. Congratulations on winning the first match of the weekend here in Dallas. Now, you guys weren't able to practice a ton in the off season, so how do you prepare for this first event?
We played a couple indoor events up at NVP, but other than that, I mean, everybody's just trying to stay in tip-top shape. And then the past 2 weekends, we went down to Texas and practiced Storm, and then went down to Top Gun and Avalanche. So we try to get in as much in as we can.
XSV got quite a few penalties there, which enabled you to get the lead early on and keep the lead. When you have penalties like that, what's your strategy, and were you expecting that many penalties from them?
I think it was just a penalty-filled match. I think I played half the game in the box. But when they have penalties, we're really trying to just break short and make sure we don't let them out wide and let our Snake side crawl up and do the work.
All right, well, although you guys did win this one 7-4, I did hear you guys in the pit saying you still have things to work on for this weekend. What are some of those things you need to work on?
A lot of work. Penalties, number one. Number two, staying alive. I think those are the two big things we're going to work on.
All right, well, thank you very much, Dan. Congratulations. Next up is CEP versus Storm. We'll see who takes that win.
Yeah, stay alive, don't get penalties. Seems really easy, but it's a lot harder in application than it is in theory. So yeah, man, what a great game to start off the 2014 first event of the PSP season here, the Dallas Open at Cousins Paintball. Matty Marshall. We're gonna let Todd Martinez go down and Coach Vicious. They're coming up here pretty soon. I got Chris Osoya, Steve Rabakoff will be joining us shortly as well. Stick around. We got CEP taking on Red Storm next. Let's see how the Russians do here in the Challengers Division. And can CEP make something happen this year? We will find out. Don't go anywhere.